Hi, I'm James Robinson, and this is my stock pick of the week. My stock pick this week is a company called Raytheon Technologies. Raytheon Technologies is the result of the merger, which happened in April, of Raytheon and United Technologies. I'm going to do an entire video on the merger and what happened with the merger just because I think it's interesting and it kind of naturally came out of me doing the homework on the companies. But for now, just understand that Raytheon Technologies is the merger of those two companies. As always, I do 5 videos on any company that I suggest you buy. The first one is an overview where we just kind of look at things from a broad strokes. Then we dive deep into the company's operations, their balance sheet, the dividends, and the wealth creation. And this time I'm going to do a side video as well on the company's merger and with United Technologies. So all of these stats are as of October 25th of 2020, which is when I bought the stock. The company's market cap is $92 billion. It has revenues of $80 billion. It has profits of 17 million. And yes, you saw that right, it's 17 million. It doesn't have a PE ratio and its yield is 3.12%. The company has about $11 billion in long-term debt. So let me sort of walk through some of the things here that's happening. Because there was a merger and there were a number of costs associated with the merger, the company has losses that are non-reoccurring, one-time losses related to the merger. You have to back those out. Also, the company has issues with its COVID. Because it's in the business that services the airline industry, as you can imagine, it's gotten pretty well hammered as well. And so depending on which source I use, I'm seeing relatively different numbers for what the company's earnings are. There's GAAP earnings, there's operational earnings, all kinds of things going on. And I've delved pretty deeply into this. It almost doesn't matter. I think that Raytheon is a spectacularly well-run company in a growing industry, the worldwide airline industry, and in the defense market. They're extremely well situated to do well, but I think that 2020 and 2021 will be poor years for the company. I'm just buying it because I think it's so cheap that it makes sense to buy, even if I have to hold it for a year or two. I'm getting a yield of 3%. I don't think that that yield is in jeopardy, and if I keep my money all in cash, I'm getting less than 3%. And I think that Raytheon will rebound fantastically and do very, very well. It is interesting to note, though, as is typical when I buy a stock, the company, I bought it on Monday. It's down almost 10% since I bought it. That's not unusual. If you're a value investor, you tend to be buying stocks that are out of favor, and oftentimes I find the stock and get latched on and really like it and do my research while it continues to be out of favor. And so sometimes the stocks will drop for a little while after I buy them. I'm not worried about it because I think I'm getting the company at a good bargain, at a good price. But it seems to happen all the time. It drives me crazy, but I've just sort of learned to live with it. So Raytheon Technologies Company is an aerospace and defense contractor. They provide advanced systems and services for commercial, military, and government customers worldwide. They operate 4 businesses: Collins Aerospace Systems, Pratt & Whitney, Raytheon Intelligence and Space, and Raytheon Missile Systems and Defense. The Collins Aerospace business offers aerostructures, avionics, interiors, mechanical systems, mission systems, and power and control systems that serve customers in the commercial, regional, business, aviation, and military sectors. So long story short, they do all kinds of things that are involved with the building of the airplane, which excludes the building of the airplane frame, the structure of the plane. So Boeing makes the plane that you recognize, and a lot of, if not everything that goes into the plane can be built by Raytheon. The Pratt & Whitney design, manufacture, and service aircraft engines and auxiliary power systems for commercial, military, and business aircraft. So Pratt & Whitney makes jets. If you know anything about planes, you understand Pratt & Whitney is a household name in the industry for building jet engines. And again, that goes back to Boeing people don't realize this, but Boeing makes the frame of the plane. Almost everything that goes into the plane that makes the plane work is designed by outside contractors. Raytheon Intelligence and Space business engages in developing various sensors, training, cyber and software solutions, and Raytheon Missile and Defense business produces a portfolio of advanced technology, including air and missile defense systems, precision weapons, radar, and command and control systems that deliver end-to-end solutions to detect, track, and engage military threats. So, the Raytheon Missile and Defense is basically selling to governments, and they're selling missiles and defense items. The company is based in Waltham, Massachusetts. The company has 243,000 employees. Just to give you a sense of scale, Boeing, which is a much more well-known company, which I refer to a lot in these videos, because Boeing's a household name in this industry, and Raytheon is it's much less so. But Raytheon has 243,000 employees, and Boeing has 161,000. So Raytheon is about 50% bigger than Boeing in terms of the number of employees. The company also has a back order of $70 billion. So the company's sales are about $80 billion a year. They have a back order today of $70 billion. And that's in addition to the fact that the worldwide airline industry is or has been growing significantly year after year, especially Asia and China and India. Again, the company's just completed a merger with United Technologies, and sort of quick fact about the company, it has 60,000 engineers working there. So you can imagine that they're doing a lot of really intricate stuff. It's a company that's very, very hard to compete with because they're entrenched. If you've got a Pratt & Whitney engine in your fleet, you are unlikely to switch to another manufacturer because everybody's trained in how to fix those jets. All your systems are set up for those jets. All your tooling is set up for those jets. And to go to another, Rolls-Royce engine, for example, it's making that flip over is very, very hard. And again, with 60,000 engineers thinking up new ideas, how does some new company come in and compete with that? So that's sort of an overview on the basic fundamentals of the company, Raytheon. In terms of my analysis of the company, whenever I do one of these videos, I always grade a company in 30 broad categories, 29 broad categories, 9 of which are operating, 10 are financial, and 10 are management. Operating is really what kind of job a company does in delivering goods and services to their customers. Financial looks at the company's debt and risks, as well as balance sheet. And management looks at what kind of job the management of the company does in terms of returning wealth to the shareholder, returning money to the shareholders, or creating wealth for the shareholders. So we look at those 3 categories. I grade everything on a scale of 1 to 4, with 4 being the best. And so when you look at this company, you'll see that they have basically 2.89, so sort of a C+ average in terms of operations. Might be the lowest company I've ever suggested you buy in terms of operational score, but that's because the management for the company is a 3.5, which is amongst the very highest, and the financial grade is actually pretty good, especially considering this is such a large company that does have some debt. Long story short, the company is doing okay. It's going to get killed because of COVID, but it's going to come back. It's 131st out of 932 companies that I've looked at. So it's in the top, 15% of companies that I've looked at. And I also think it's very, very undervalued relative to the quality of company that it is. I'd like to suggest that you follow me on Twitter. My handle is @RobinsonStocks. You'll find real-time information on when I make trades. Oftentimes I make a trade and it takes me a couple of days to put a video out. Same thing when I sell a stock. I won't make a video when I sell a stock, so you won't know when I'm doing things unless you follow me on Twitter. Also, occasionally I will buy companies which I have done videos on in the past if I think they become cheap again. And so the way you find out about that is my Twitter handle. Also, you'll see updates when I post new videos and news and thoughts on the market and things that are happening around the world that I think are relevant to our portfolio. Also, if you like these videos, please like and subscribe, and more importantly, or just as importantly, send me a note and let me know where you're from. This is a map that shows where my known subscribers are, and I'd love to add more dots to the map. It gives me pleasure to see that people from all over the world are following me. It's pretty cool, so I'd appreciate if you do that. That sums it up for the overview of Raytheon Company. Thank you very much for your time.